Hey everyone, it's Willow Landria, and yes, I'm back. Just want to say that it's been a while. Yes, and I'm aware it's been a while, but I'm finally back. I've been doing other videos on another channel of mine, so that's been kind of taking my time, and I'm still trying to figure this thing all out. I also got that new toy that is featured on my other channel, but now I want to talk about this. Star Wars. Big surprise. George Lucas has come out and made, or there are rumors that George Lucas is putting out there that he is interested in getting back into Star Wars. Let's look at the article. So, the article in question is from this website called We Got This Covered. And I guess, they've reported on Star Wars in the past, but this is their headline. George Lucas reportedly down to return to Star Wars, but he wants full control. He wants full control if he's going to come back. And in the article, they talk about the backstory, a lot of the backstory about what happened and the fact that George Lucas is not happy with the way that Star Wars has gone. And Disney knows this because of even Bob Iger put in his book. He knows that George Lucas was not really happy and that he thought, you're not moving the story, you're not moving the technology, the storytelling, you're not moving it forward, you're just kind of repeating things. And yes, as fans, we realize this, and people knew this. They said this about Force Awakens. They said, this is basically Star Wars, but another. I remember when my friend told me that at the time. He says, like, you know what? It's kind of like the same. It's like, and even they even have Han Solo say, so, okay, it's just bigger, basically. Yeah, it's the Death Star, but bigger. Yes, they talked about it, but it was nothing really, really new. He wasn't invited. He wasn't invited to the premiere of Rise of Skywalker, which is like, so this is supposed to be the end of the saga, if you will, because that's how they were billing it. They were going, it's the end of a saga, the 9-part movie saga, and they're trying to the Skywalker saga, but they didn't even invite George Lucas. And what does that tell you? That they knew what they had was not really that great. And I've gotten to arguments with friends about this, and they were saying, this movie's fine. It's like, I don't understand. You're just a hater. He says, like, you know what? We're fans, and we're passionate, and this is what we like. We know Star Wars. It's kind of like how there's a lot of franchises out there that they're going in new directions, and the fans they're saying, well, you're going in a new direction, but what you're doing is you're taking a beloved franchise and you're deconstructing it to a point where it's no longer what it was. And they're doing it with Star Wars. They're doing it with Star Trek. I don't watch it, but they are doing it with Doctor Who, apparently. I haven't watched it, so I don't really know. And if they continue on a road like that, fans will not come back. Well, anyway, back to this article. It does say that what the rumors are saying, that if he does come back, he would like to bring along Dave Filoni. He's the creative guy behind the Star Wars, the Clone Wars, and Star Wars Rebels. He has been helping out with The Mandalorian, and a lot of people, and I think he even directed an episode of The Mandalorian. I believe it was the first episode he actually directed. So he was mainly about animation, but now he's kind of venturing out into live action slowly, and they're kind of putting they're letting him kind of do it. But Dave Filoni actually worked with George Lucas in the past when he was doing the Clone Wars and Rebels. So he has this close relationship with George Lucas, which is why George Lucas really would like to have Dave Filoni. And this is my guess, when he handed over control over to Kathleen Kennedy, he really put a lot of trust, and they have a long history. He and Kathleen Kennedy, they have a long history that go back way back into the when she helped out with Steven Spielberg. And this is but now he realizes, like, okay, she obviously did not respect where he was going, even though she said that she was. But now he's realizing he's like, I need to take control back. Or Disney, if you want me to try to swing this right, I will come back, but I want full control. And I understand. Now, this is the thing that I'm thinking. It's kind of smart of him to do this because the only reason that Kathleen Kennedy is still there is because nobody wants the job. Nobody wants the job. It is such a hot property. There was so much damage that was already done to it that nobody wants to go into her shoes. Now, she is, which is why they were expecting her to go maybe 2 years ago. And when nobody wanted, said, okay, you know what, that franchise is a mess and I don't know how we can fix it because you guys already did it. And they, to the point, they're having directors being fired left and right all the time. And it's like she doesn't trust the instincts of actual fans. She has her own direction that she wants to go. But anyway, this is the thing. I really do think that he's putting this out there so that he can, since nobody really wants to do it, that if they were like, okay, wait, you know what? If George wants to do it, let George do it. And they're gonna step back and they're gonna say, you know what, and here's the thing, because I know that Disney, they really do want Kathleen, they want her out, but they just don't know how to get her out without, how to get her out. They don't know how to do it without her, Now here's the thing, people are saying that Kathleen Kennedy, she can walk out now, with her head up high. Her last movie, Rise of Skywalker, it's doing respectable, it's did respectable, I can't get the word out, money out there. And if we look at the numbers, she crossed the $1 billion mark, okay? So we say, okay, she crossed the $1 billion mark, okay, you can walk away, without, with your pride still intact, okay? But here's the thing, okay, she can keep her pride, but this is not a success. This is not a success. Not if you compare it to what the other movies did. If you compare it to The Force Awakens, which is right over here, the worldwide box office of The Force Awakens was $2 billion. $2 freaking billion. And right now, Rise of Skywalker just crossed the $1 billion mark. And this is the end. This is the ultimate. This is the, if you compare that to what Endgame did, it's now the all-time. So this movie should have been up there with Endgame, if that's the case, if that's what we're talking about. But it just, it didn't, nobody really cared because she split the franchise. It's all apart, and I'm using my hands too much. But here's the thing: if you compare Rise of Skywalker with how the other movies, and then take inflation into account. I love this website that's over here. This is from Money Nation, and they do a comparison of how much money every Star Wars movie has made. But then they changed the inflationary part, and this is what so Force Awakens, it did the $2 billion, and they have it, so it actually ranks number 2 for all time, because people were wanting to, they had no idea where the franchise was going to go, and they're like, we're going to go see, it's going to be a Star Wars movie, and then they watch it, and they're like, this is literally like the very first Star Wars. And if you put the money of what Star Wars made worldwide back then, it actually did $3 billion. But if you convert it to today's total, actually, this article came out in 2016, so the actual 2016 total is at $6 billion. But I'm sure it's around the same time. But if you convert it to today's dollars, it'd be $6 billion now. So Empire's up there. If you convert it, it'd be $3 billion. Even Phantom Menace, which is coming back, it's $2 billion if you convert it from the worldwide from back then, which was $1.4 billion. To today's dollars, it's $2 billion. And Revenge of the Sith, which was the third, which we thought it was going to be the last. Well, actually, not the last, just the third movie. But it was completing that trilogy. it did converted, it did $1.4 billion. So that's a pretty good comparison as to what? I mean, even Return of the Jedi, 1.5, okay? Definitely not as big and not big of as a phenomenon as Star Wars, which if you convert it, it's $6 billion. But Return of the Jedi, which would be the third movie in that trilogy, 1.5. So I guess you can kind of say, okay, Kathleen Kennedy, your movie, it did over 1 billion. That's not too far off from all these other movies. But at right now, it's like, it's in this realm of like Rogue One right here. Here's 1,034,000,000. That's where it's at right now, and I don't see it going much higher right now. I don't see Rise of Skywalker going a whole lot. It's it's higher than the 1.30 something billion. It's at 1.46 million right now, but still, that is close to where Rogue One is right now. So I really don't know if it's going to go any higher than that, because Revenge of the Sith is at 1,428,000,000. It's not going to go. It's not going to get any higher than that. It's if it's at 146 million. I mean, I'd be it might reach the 100 million mark again of the 1,100,000,000, but it won't reach 1.2 billion. It won't reach that. So that's all I got right now, and I hope this ramble, for those of you who are still here, I'm impressed. But I'll see you at the next video, and we'll talk later. Please like, share, and subscribe.